Hello, everyone. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about attracting your perfect partner. This is something that I have done myself, and if you guys listen to my podcast, you already heard a small little bit about the story, but I wanted to go into more depth about it and kind of give you some tools to attract your perfect partner. So let me give you a little bit of backstory. I met my husband in sixth grade. We didn't really like each other, but over the years we grew to kind of be friends. We dated for the first time at 15. Then I think we dated for about 6 months at that time. Then he ended up actually moving away and we lost touch for a little while. Then at 18, we dated again. Um, I had had kind of an abusive stepfather and he had had an abusive situation growing up as well. So we were kind of connecting on negative areas at the time. And at 18, we got into a really big fight and things went south quickly. My best friend went over to check on him because she was also his friend. They ended up hooking up and it was just a devastating time. So I washed my hands of that. They went on and did their thing. He was very sorry. He apologized. He wanted to get back together, but I wasn't in a place to accept that. So fast forwarding to me and how the work I had to do for myself. So I remember one night laying on my mom's floor, just crying hysterically because I just felt like life wasn't going good. I felt so depressed, so down. I was a nursing student at the time. My anxiety was through the roof. And I think mainly because I just started to realize all the things you could die of and all the things that can happen and how scary that is. But it was just terrible. I thought that I was sick. I had symptoms. Nothing was wrong. It was like my mind was torturing me. It was terrible. So my mom had just become a life coach, and I remember her telling me, honey, let's ask the universe for a magical outcome and to send you the tools that you're going to need to get through this. So my mom's friend actually ended up the next day giving her a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I read that book so quick. Let me tell you, I was just through it in no time. It's such a good book, and to this day I use some of the affirmations in the back. I absolutely love it. So I read through it and it just really resonated with me, and I started telling myself I love and approve of myself over and over and over again and saying the affirmations in the back of the book. And I really decided to make a change. I started getting life coaching myself, and I started really going forward, and I started letting go of some of these blocks that were in my way, and especially the negative thoughts I had about men. Like, they always let you down, they're abusive, these things that I had brought into relationships. So fast forward a few years, I'm doing really good. I've been doing the magic, love that book, still do it to this day, writing down everything I'm thankful for, being so thankful for every moment. And let me tell you, things are flooding in. I remember one time my whole week of Starbucks was paid for. Like, every time I went through the drive-thru, they're like, the person in front of you paid, the person in front of you paid, the person in front. It was amazing. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I was in such a good space. I was attracting the most beautiful things to happen to me. It was truly great. I was at this beautiful place. And so I get a message from Brent, who's now my husband, and he says, I'd love to get together and talk. And I was like, okay, and I didn't answer back right away. And actually, the interesting thing now that I think back to it, and even at the time, was about 3 weeks before that, 4 weeks before that maybe, I wrote a list in extreme detail of what I wanted. Dark hair, dark eyes, olive skin, kind, trustworthy, makes me feel so in love with myself, and then at the same time, when they walk in the room, like, you could just feel the love. Like, I got down to the nitty gritty, every detail of a relationship, into everything. And I wrote the list on 2 pieces of paper, and I drew flowers and hearts and stuff all over it. I put one in my glove compartment in my car and one in my purse. And ironically, I actually ended up switching purses, and for some reason I didn't switch that over. But I kind of just forgot about it, honestly. I was just in this really good space. I had cleaned out my closet, and I had half ready for another partner. I always slept on one side of the bed and left the other side open. I was just making these moves in my life because I was ready to attract somebody, but I wasn't forcing it. I was just like, when it's ready to come, it'll come, and there'll be space for it. I wanted to hold space, but I didn't want to be forceful in it. So he wanted to get together, and I wrote back and I was like, yeah, at first I thought no, but then I was like, no, I want to prove to the universe that I've let this go, that I'm over this, that I'm over the cheating, and I'm over the heartbreak of it all. And so he came to pick me up. He took me to my favorite restaurant, Zio's, which is no longer around. And we just had so much fun, like we had in high school. It was just this friendship that we've always had that's just like, we can, leave off and then pick up right where we left off. And he apologized. He was like, I'm so sorry. I should have never done that. I was dealing with my own demons. And he had just quit smoking, drinking. He had really been doing inner work and working on himself. And I can remember after that night just thinking, wow, he's such a different person. And he told me that a few days later. We hung out again. He's like, you're so different than I remember you. You're not so anxiety ridden, and you're not so uptight about everything, and like you want to have fun and you enjoy life, and you're so thankful for everything, and it's just really beautiful. And I can remember thinking similar things about him, just being like, wow, like he's so optimistic, so optimistic. And so we started hanging out more and more and more, and things just kind of fell into place. And so we started dating, and everything went really good, and then we got engaged. And so at this point, I went to go sell my car, and I was looking through everything, and I found the list in the glove compartment. And I can remember like almost crying because I was just like, what? What is going on here? He checked every single box. And when I tell you every single box, like there were boxes that I put on there that he would have never checked before. But now he checked every one of them. No smoking, no drinking, no cursing. Like there were things in there that I was just like, what? It's shocking to me. Um, and I can remember just like laughing because a few nights before I found that, we had friends over. One of my friends was like, gosh, I hope that you guys get married because when you walk into a room, you can just feel the love he has for you. Like the way he looks at you, you are the luckiest girl in the world. You're the only girl in the world for him. And I can remember being like, really? And she was just like, yes, absolutely. And so yeah, it was truly amazing, and we ended up getting married. And some of the things on our list were like being a good father, and now he's a father, and he's an amazing father. Um, and so I really feel that I was able to attract my perfect partner, and I was open to all possibilities. Had I said no to that date, I might have attracted someone else that wasn't exactly what I wanted. Because now, I think back and I can't imagine a life without him. We are the best of friends. We do everything together. That would be really sad. So, I want to give you guys some tips on how to attract your perfect partner. The first thing is falling in love with yourself. I did so much love work, so much. I love and approve of myself. I am strong. I am beautiful. I worked out. I did yoga, not because I wasn't like beautiful, but because I wanted to feel good inside my body. I wanted to feel the way, I wanted my looks to match the way I felt inside. And that's not to say that I was trying to lose weight. It was literally just doing yoga made me feel good. So I did it. And being active made me feel good. That was just part of it. So I really started with self-care. I drank a lot of water. I ate healthy foods. I researched good nutrition. I even went on a raw foods diet for a while, which didn't last very long, but it was nice to just cleanse my body. And I just really started to see my body as my temple and just loving it, loving everything about me. I can be obnoxious. I can be over the top. I can be really cautious. And I embrace those, and I love those things about me. And my husband helps me kind of come outside my box and stuff sometimes, which is really beautiful. So it's just kind of like a yin and yang for us. So yeah, it's just it's a truly beautiful match. So yes, falling in love with yourself first. That's going to help you, because if you love you, then others will love you. And it's amazing, like when I started really noticing that I was really in love with myself, I started noticing others wanting to take care of me, and others wanting to love me, and others wanting to be around me. And that's when I kind of started to realize, wow, like I'm loving myself. That doesn't mean I don't have flaws, but I embrace them and love them. So that was the first thing. The second thing was making space. I remember I cleared out my drawers, and I had 2 drawers for somebody else, and then I had closet space for somebody else, for their shoes, for everything. I would sleep on one side of my bed, and when I was going places and stuff, there were times that I would order 2 meals to take home, and then I would put one in the fridge, and I'd always eat it later. But at the time, I'd be like, yeah, for me and my boyfriend, or for me, like I would mentally think that. I would imagine, I would meditate on what it was going to be like to be in a relationship, and I would really go in deep, like, what am I going to feel like with this person? What am I going to feel like just sitting on the couch watching TV with this person? And like, I would imagine myself sitting on the couch watching TV and like looking over and feeling them there, having them rub my feet or play with my hair. And my husband does all those things. And so, I really imagine that. And I even got down to the point where like I would imagine disagreements and how I want our disagreements to go. I didn't want yelling and screaming and freaking out on one another. I wanted calm discussions and like, can we communicate? Can I listen? And while they're communicating to me, and can they listen while I'm communicating to them? And can we communicate clearly in a way that's respectful and kind to each other? And can we say sorry to one another? Like all these things were so important to me that I would just meditate on them and I'd imagine them and I'd get in the bath and I would just soak and I would just listen to like love songs and imagine like how it was going to feel when I had that person. And all of these things kind of cultivated a feeling within me of just immense love. Like it was just pouring out everywhere. And I was just attracting it and I trust the universe. I didn't go crazy to the point where like I was like, oh my gosh, why isn't this here yet? Like I just trust in timing. I knew it was coming and I didn't even really yearn for it because I was so in love and cultivating so much love that it was like it was already there. And then came the list. I decided to do the list and just put it away for a rainy day and then I forgot about it and then I found it and I was shocked. I was so shocked, but so in love and so proud of this process and of the universe and of all the amazing things that had come my way. And so then the other thing that was like really interesting is when my husband and I had talked about getting married. We were like, should we get married? Is that something we're interested in? And I had been looking at pictures of rings and I had a Pinterest board that was private and I put a ring in there. And when he proposed to me, I was like in utter shock because it was so similar. It was just amazing. I had never shown him this, but it was so similar to the one that I wanted. And so it's amazing how things happen. And then a few years later, actually, after we had gotten married, I put another ring on a vision board that I wanted, and he ended up getting it for me. We ended up finding like almost the exact one. It's just crazy how things come. But you can attract a perfect partner, and you just have to love yourself. And the best thing I did for me was I did have a life coach that helped me with loving myself and truly accepting who I am and not letting others kind of bring me down or their judgments of me bring me down. So that was a really big part in all of this. But overall, you can attract your perfect partner. So those are my tips for you if you are trying to attract your perfect partner. Please leave comments below and let me know of any other content you would like to see.